What is up? We are back on OP Legends. I've actually not been on here in a few months, but we are playing their Gens game mode, which I can't lie, I've been playing for a little bit and it is so much fun. I'm currently Prestige 102 and we are going to get into things. Let's go to the island. If you do want to come try out literally the best Gen server out here in Minecraft, the IP is there on the screen, zap.oplegends.com. If you already played the server, consider swapping to my IP. And I mean, this is going to be pretty crazy. So firstly, these are all of our gens. Let's have them load in. There we go. I have 341 generators placed down and we have 956,000 blocks in the chunk collector. Okay, so first thing is I do have, I believe, a 2x cell wand somewhere, so we will grab that. And I do have all these different booster potions and stuff, but I want to try getting a money booster. So let's type /bundles. We currently have about 3,000 credits and there are all these different bundles that we can purchase, but specifically I think the carrots bundle, this has 3 of the new molten loot boxes. Basically, if you don't know, they do a bunch of updates every single week on their server and these look pretty epic. So let's start off by opening up these radiant crates. These things are like not too crazy, but they do give you a little bit of items, so I'll just open all of them up. I think they actually could give me some booster potions, so that would be pretty epic. It looks like we're getting a bunch of generator slots though, and a bunch of these other different like modifier boxes, crate keys, realm boost boxes. I'll get into those later on. Oh nice, we also got a party cake. If you just AFK on the server, you'll eventually get these from vote parties. That gave me some crate keys, a bunch of like money and stuff. But for the grand finale, we have the molten loot box. Wait, we can win 10,000 credits from this? That would be insane, but these are like the crazy loot boxes. We will be getting some pretty OP rewards, hopefully. What I would really like to win is a pet slot because we only have one of these, so any amount of extra pet slots would be awesome. Gems booster. It doesn't look like we got any money boosters. We got molten boots. Okay, these are the jackpot rewards. Cell wand, flaming pickaxe core, and another cell wand. Okay, these molten boots are absolutely insane. If you don't know, the different armors will give you like multipliers. We currently have these gold boots and the molten ones have an EXP multiplier, a money multiplier, and a tokens multiplier. The gold boots just only have a tokens multiplier. That is actually like pretty insane. This pickaxe core is like a little booster thing. It's pretty cool. We did win a 3x cell wand, which is awesome. We currently only have, wait, we have a 5x? Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, and then we have all these other gen slots. Let's redeem all those. My ears are currently bleeding from that sound. Okay, I need to turn my sound down. That was like very loud. All right, but now with our cell wands, we didn't get any money booster, but we can sell this chunk collector for 160 billion money. That actually wasn't that much. I have over 6 trillion money. With all the new gen slots though, if we type /gen shop, we are wanting to purchase some new generators and these are not too expensive. We'll need to purchase 65 of those and we'll buy that. And then I will just place them all down. Wait, I just realized something. There's something called gen stacking. Okay, so if I click on this generator, I can click stack gens and put all of the gens in there. So that means I have all of my gens placed into that single block. I did not know that. I've been playing this for a couple days. That is crazy and that is super useful. But so what we want to do next is like upgrade all the gens. So if you type /gens manager, or if you just like click on any of these gens, you can upgrade them. But we can go ahead and just upgrade all of these gens like that. And now we are currently getting flashbangs from all these particles, but all the gens are now upgrading. We can actually do this a few times, but the reason I am saving a decent amount of my money is because I do want to spend them on these tool upgrades, which at certain prestiges we unlock the different upgrades for like the different pickaxes and then the different hoes. But yeah, that's pretty cool, and we'll upgrade this last bit of gens. Now the goal of this video is I would like to get myself a bunch of more totems so that we can level up even faster. Currently I have only 1 EXP totem and we have a bunch of these tokens, but I can also equip 5 other totems as well. So yeah, first things first, let me organize my inventory. We're gonna throw all that into there. We actually do have these modifier boxes. I haven't even applied any of these to my tools. I'll just apply a tokens modifier. Why not? I literally just equipped every modifier I could to my pickaxe. We have all 6 of these equipped. Let's head to the spawn. We have 12 of these tool perk cubes. I'm going to redeem all of these. I believe I actually have some more in my player vaults. We have another 12 here. So the idea with these tool perk cubes is that I need to get some of them on my hoe and then some of them on the pickaxe. I haven't really done too much mining with the axe, but we'll probably get into that like later on. I do have a bunch of the enchants maxed out, but to update you on what we have for the hoe, we have every single enchantment unlocked, fully maxed out, and it is pretty crazy when we start farming. We get a ton of EXP and we do level up pretty fast. But we have these tool perks, and what we want to do is roll these perks to get these different boosters. Now, the best perks here are the Divine and Universal perk, but I would be happy with anything that does give me more EXP. So let's roll a couple of these, and the first one we got EXP perk 5. That is 50% more EXP. I think we should just keep it there, to be honest. And then I also need to get some of the pickaxe perks. Now, something I do every single video on OP Legends is I do giveaways. If you want to enter this video's giveaway of 2,500 credits, all you have to do is comment your in-game name, and then consider switching over to my IP, of course, zap.oplegends.com. And I'll also throw up the last video giveaway winner. They won 1,000 credits. Now, let's head over to the mine, typing /mine, or you can go through this like portal. I am currently in the gold mine, and we have all the different gold pieces over here. So what we need to do is mine a bunch of gold, and then if we go to the forge, we can forge these golden totems, and this is where we can get a bunch of like tokens or EXP multipliers. So yeah, let's just mine a bunch of gold. While we're going to do that, I'm going to activate all these different EXP boosters. These are like 150% boosters for 30 minutes. And then something else really interesting is that we got the flaming pickaxe core. This means we gain 2.5x more mining materials while this is active. So I'm going to equip that, and then we are just going to start mining. And then we have some of these enchants where sometimes they break like all of the ores. That right there was a lucky block, and that gave me a booster. That's pretty cool. But every so often it will just mine all the ores like with like a jackhammer enchant, or sometimes it just like breaks all of them and gives us a bunch of the ores. Mining is pretty slow, but it is pretty rewarding, I can't lie. So yeah, we're gonna mine for a little bit, and then as we are mining, all the ores go into our golden backpack. We currently have 649 gold ingots. We need 256 per totem to forge. Oh yeah, like that enchant right there just broke all the ores. There's also coal in this mine, but I really don't care for it. Oh, there we go. It's happening again. Dude, I already have 1,258 of the gold ingots, and I've mined not really that many blocks. But yeah, let's go over to the forge. I will show you how this works. I can click on a bunch of these, and it'll start forging the totems. These do take a little bit of time, but technically I can skip it with credits. So let's do that. We can also use coal, actually. I have 174 coal, so let me skip this with the coal, and that finished that instantly. And then for the rest of them, we will just use credits. It does cost a little bit. It's probably not very smart to do that, but I'm a little impatient. And look at this. We got a bunch more of these EXP totems and more token totems, but that right there filled out all of our totem slots. Technically, I should get a little bit more for EXP, so maybe we should do a little bit more mining. It would be really nice to get like a full EXP loadout, and then we can start farming and just doing a crap load of prestiging. And the main reason we do want to prestige is, of course, to just progress further in the game. But as we prestige, we earn new mines to travel to, which means new ores, and that means like new totems and new armor sets. There's so many of these like different armor sets we can get that have different multipliers, and then they cost all these like different materials. But we do have about 3 minutes left on that 2.5x like materials core thing that we did for the pickaxe, so I'm just going to utilize that in mine for the next couple minutes. Oh wow, a turbo tokens event just started. They do have events on the Gen server, and I know like we just like hopped into the video. I didn't really do much of an introduction to the game mode, but if you are familiar with gens, what you do is you get generators, you place them down, they generate items, you sell those items for money, and then you can upgrade your gens further. Money is used for like buying a bunch of the new tools and then like a bunch of other things. Tokens are used for purchasing enchantments. And what is that? That is like a black hole enchant. That is so cool. I actually have not seen that before. But the main way to get EXP for leveling up and then prestiging is from farming. Mining is really good for earning tokens and then getting totems, which will like boost all your other stuff. And then foraging is actually used for acorns, but I actually haven't really done any foraging at all. And yeah, that pretty much summarizes up the game. There's a bunch of like other little in-depth features, but I'll only be recording like a few videos on this season, and then we'll be swapping over to play their prisons maps for a few weeks. And then in a couple months, we'll be back playing on gens, and then we'll have like a full walkthrough on like how to play the game. But it is a lot of fun. Definitely just like come hop on and check it out. But my core booster thing did end up stopping. Let me go ahead and add any more totems that I can. We currently have 6 of them. Forging, I do have more coal, so I'll just skip one of those with the coal, and then the rest of them I will just spend credits, and let's go. So we have no way. Why did I get so many token totems? But maybe we have enough to have, well, actually never mind. Okay, so we still have 2 token totems equipped, but that is definitely enough for now. We do have like a full tokens loadout though, which is kind of interesting. Now look at this. We have another core here called the Molten Hoe Core. This gives me 100x more EXP and then 30x more gems and 100x more tokens. It is now time to go to the /farm, and what I have here is I do have a really cool ability. This Reaper Hose Core will farm crops in a 3x3 area. But yeah, let me equip that. Now, all these cores can be activated at the same time, so I'm gonna turn on auto activation. Also, apparently I have like a million crate keys in my mailbox, so I'm gonna claim all those. And then something else is I actually think I have a ton of other crate keys to open as well. Let me just throw like all my totems in there. But if I type /crates, we have 257 grind crates to open, 175 loot crates, and 202 relic crates. Those basically just usually give us like a lot of gen slots and like other random boosters. Okay, but with now all of our crazy amount of totems, let's type /prestige. We have auto prestige enabled, and then we need to be at level 535 to prestige. We have all these like crazy enchants activated, and then at prestige 115 we unlock double down, which is chance to break a block twice. Technically that makes it so enchants can activate again. And then we unlock the new farm at prestige 120. All right, here we go. Well, it's time to start farming. There's already like a bunch of enchants activating. We have Rancher Robert, we have a pig flying around, there's goats and sheeps and other animals just breaking the crops. It looks like we are already about to prestige though. Nice, we're at prestige 103. Oh, and that's another thing. I have all these like battle pass tiers that I haven't been claiming. I have just been like neglecting that entirely, so we'll check that out later. Dude, the amount of enchantments that are like just activating and just breaking these crops is insane. We're already at prestige 105. There is actually like another thing on the server which I didn't really mention, but at the spawn area of all the different worlds, there are pet eggs. Let me actually upgrade my backpack a few times so that it has more storage. But yeah, all these different pet eggs, you can like open these up, right? All these pets are like hatching and opening, and then we have these like pet slots which you can equip them, and then these just give you multipliers. But I think this is like the worst pet egg, and I think if we travel to the other areas we can get better ones, but we'll save that for later. We are just like prestiging extremely fast. I think we can hit prestige 120 relatively quickly, maybe in like 5 or 10 minutes. All right, cool. I just hit prestige 110. The other like pretty cool thing about prestiging is that if I type /prestige, every time we prestige we get these prestige points, and I originally was putting my points into money, but I started putting all of my points into EXP, and this gives me a bit more of an EXP multiplier. Okay, so we've been making pretty good progress, but I do feel like it would be pretty cool if we did just like test our luck a little bit. We have 24 of the roll perks, so yeah, I mean, let's just roll these and see if we get anything like super cool. And that doesn't look too good. Level merchants. Oh my god, wait, that is 80% EXP. I mean, I feel like that would be pretty epic to keep, so yeah, I guess we'll just keep that. I guess the mission was a success. But yeah, I do have 600 billion tokens, right? And the other thing that I could do is upgrade a little bit more of my enchantments. So there's something called enchantment prestiging, and what you can do is prestige these, and then it'll give you like a multiplier, but it does significantly increase the cost, right? So I don't really know if EXP Finder is like the best enchant to go for, but it probably is. So yeah, let's just like go with this one. But basically I can prestige this, and then I have to max it out again for 65 billion. I can prestige it, and then it costs now 197 billion. So yeah, as you can see, we shouldn't do it again just because we don't have enough tokens. But there's some of these other enchants, for an example, like Firestarter. This one we can prestige it up to 4 times. This one's actually like very cheap. So yeah, we'll just do that. There's TNT Blast. This one can be prestiged 3 times. This one is also relatively cheap. We can max that out. Literally, it just makes it so they're more powerful and give us more EXP. This one can be prestiged 6 times, although, oh wow, I don't know if I'll have enough money actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop there and check out the other enchants first. We have Combo. This one cannot be prestiged. Rancher Robert. This can be prestiged a few times. It is also very expensive. Flash can be prestiged. I don't even know what this does. Gain a chance to get boosted with speed 10. Yeah, I don't think we need to prestige that. Lucky Block, don't think we need that one. Thor, I could prestige this a couple times. Yeah, we'll just do that twice. Turbo Frenzy, we will prestige this like twice as well. Meteor, this one is probably quite, yeah, this is very expensive, but oh well, we can actually prestige it twice and just be done. That is pretty cool. So let's go back to Stampede. I think we'll throw one more prestige in there, and then I'll probably just save the rest of my tokens in case I need them later on. But yeah, this would be pretty cool. So EXP Finder is now going to be activating much more frequently. Oh, I just got the Turbo Frenzy boost. We get way more EXP now for the next minute. I just need to lock in and farm. Wait, what the heck? I'm prestige 121. I did not even realize. Oh my god, look at these meteors. Holy crap, that got me to prestige 122. My god. Okay, let me throw all my new points into EXP real quick, and then let's head into the brand new farm world. Wait, are we already here? This is the brand new farm world. Dude, we unlocked a new pet tag. Let's go. These have, whoa, really high level pets. Let's open a bunch of these. What I'm going to do is just spam open them without the animation. Although this is like decently expensive, check this out, right? Now I'm going to go to the pet fusion and then click on the best pets we have here, which are, oh wow, we don't even have that many of them. But if I click like these rhino pets, I can fuse those for 100,000 gems and it'll turn it into a different rarity. And then it's the rainbow status, which means it'll have a higher multiplier. Anyways, check out the new farm. This is pretty cool. We have a whole new set of farm crops as well. We have potatoes at prestige 120. We have the tube coral at 160. And then the lilac at prestige 200. As you can see, the EXP values do increase with every farm. And pretty much, this farming area is actually a little bit nicer. I like when the ground is much flatter. It just makes it feel way more efficient. But what you can do on the server as well is, of course, you do want to eventually just AFK your generator drops, because that's how you like have your drops produce items. And then you can sell those to make money. But there's also the AFK farming blocks, and they have this in every single feature. But if I click on this, and then I click start AFK grind, I will then be AFK grinding and farming. So I'll be able to get a bunch of like prestiges and stuff overnight. Anyways, though, that was pretty awesome. We hit prestige 120. We made a ton of good progress today. If you do want to continue watching OP Legends Gens, make sure you do subscribe. Definitely come try out the server, and I will see you all later.